man, I love to draw so much. Creating all season stories is so much fun. I wish I could share them with the world. Oh, I know. I'll post them on social media. I'll be so famous. People will love them.
Bloop. I think the head's too big. You should change them because, oh my gosh, that doesn't look right. I can't even draw a stick figure. Why is this character reminds me of...
Man, your art is so horrible. I could draw better than that. Howdy hey, call me Renee. And what you just saw was basically almost every artist's canon event before selling their souls to the devs that is social media. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you my own personal experience, to see if some of you may relate or just don't feel scared or alone. If you haven't seen my last video, A Weird Amino Story, check it out. It's not really necessary, but it's appreciated. But basically, that story is about a weird experience I had in Amino, and it was technically my first exposure to the internet and what the people there could offer. That experience happened around 2016, 2017. While on Amino, I was also using the infamous app Wattpad, but it was more for fanfics. I didn't really use it as an art book until like 2019, 2020. And even then, I don't really have nothing to say about it. After leaving Amino, I got on Instagram and soon other socials as well. Follow me in the description. I've been taught a handful of internet safety rules, but even with those in mind, it didn't really save me from the wrath of the internet. I absolutely love posting my art online, posting almost every day, drawing at speeds only an artist these days could wish. Admittedly, me too. My art mainly consisted on my Sonic OC, drawing her with either Shadow or the Sonic cast. I still have some OG followers that never forget about her, even if I don't use her as much anymore. And because of that, this transition away from what I was known, from what I'm now, was hard for myself. Getting to share my art, my stories, and characters, as well as find others with the same interests as me, and even play out adventures like playing with Barbie dolls, was a dream come true for me, and even probably for others as well. On Amino, it was sort of the same, but I can say that when I moved to Instagram, it's where my art really started to get true engagement. I would get amazing comments and DMs from people saying that they love my art, my characters, and wanted to be friends, and even collab, and do art trades. It was absolutely motivating me. And that was the problem. Like many of us at a young age, getting into the internet is because we either want an escape from our real life, or meet others because we feel alone. And it was basically the same for me. My dream was to share my creations, stories, and characters, as well as inspire others to do the same. And it's still my dream currently, but I'm older and have a more realistic view of it. I don't blame any young artist or even creator of any kind to want to share and inspire people. Heck, that's why we create. But some of us think it'll be so easy, that with one post, they'll go viral, and people will love them, and they'll gain so much money, and it's not like that. And when they see they didn't get any money, or fame, and recognition they hoped, they quit. They waste their talent, and not try anymore. In 2020 to 2021, I made a comic series, where I shared my character's story with the Sonic team. And I could say that was the peak of my fame, in quotes. Chapter 1 was finished, but it's discontinued and archived for a long while now, and unfortunately for y'all, you won't get to read it anywhere, unless you ask. I'll be honest, I'm proud of my little self for being very responsible and having consistency with this comic. My posting schedule was basically 3 comic pages, followed by 3 art posts, then 3 comic pages again, in a sort of pattern. It gave consistency to my followers, meaning that after every 3 art posts, they'll have 3 comic updates. With that strategy, I started gaining recognition. My posts would get over the 100 likes, but then again, I was a kid still in school, who should be actually focusing on homework, grades, upcoming exams, not posting consistently, having a schedule like it's a job. I thought my now arriving fame would give me the opportunity to live off my art and help me achieve my dream. So, I focused solely on the engagement. It became worse when I started commissions. Doing commissions was the closest thing I had to my dream. I was helping people taking their ideas and illustrating them into a custom-made piece just for them. And I was actually getting money for it. That money, which I saved to soon make a new life and live off my art. You might think I was doing great, but imagine this. A 16-year-old just starting high school, with exams, projects, assignments, etc., plus with the stress of drawing every day and doing commissions, taking absolutely anything to keep up to date, but on top of that, dealing with personal life itself and growing up, it was harsh, man. Soon enough, it really started to demotivate me. I would start to be like, I had too many ideas, but no time, or so much time that I did not know what to draw or had the motivation to. Obviously, using likes and comments for validation is harmful, and when you don't get the amount that you want, it'll demotivate you so much. It really didn't help that, like any other fandom, there was drama. And it so happened that at the time, the biggest, most loved creators were being called out for huge, unforgivable things. So obviously, they hid away or either left the internet. It was very heartbreaking for diehard fans, and even just casual ones. Since then, the community really broke apart. Now it seems there was a new drama every day, but sometimes rightfully so. People needed to be called out, but other times, it just seemed unnecessary. It started to feel like you couldn't do anything without being compared or called out, which probably wasn't the case. It strongly felt like this. For this reason, many artists and even friends of mine left the fandom or started separating themselves from it. In all honesty, I wanted to separate myself from the fandom as well. It just wasn't as fun anymore. It wasn't as loved as before, and it was honestly seen as childish to others. I wasn't happy anymore, but I couldn't leave. My followers knew me because of that OC from this specific fandom. I couldn't leave. I couldn't start over. I was so close to my dream. I couldn't quit now. I tried to explore other interests of mine, and even tried myself a anthro style that maybe I could keep my characters without the association to the fandom, like others tried, but it didn't seem right. I took the decision to change my character's story, making her new friends, a new team, and even a new love interest that wasn't Shadow, cause inevitably, I was scared of changing. I felt that this way, I could keep my recognized character and give her a new original take to her, because I worried that if I changed my interest, nobody would care anymore, that the engagement would be gone, the likes, the people wouldn't commission me, and my dream would just be over. I completely lost track of what really mattered in my dream, and that was essentially my love for art. I treated my hobby as a job that at that age, I did not need to stress about. So what I finally did for myself, start over from scratch with a better goal. It was a long journey, but I've learned to take it easy with myself. I stopped doing commissions. I took a hiatus for a bit to focus on my studies as I was about to graduate, and started to draw other stuff like other OCs, fandoms, and even fan art that I was scared to do before. I tell this story because I know others right now have the same dream and view that I used to have. And I don't want any young artists on the internet to focus their life on art. Drawing is your hobby, not your job. You're doing it because you love it, and you love doing it. I advise you not to focus your engagement or value your art depending on likes. The algorithm of today quite literally doesn't care how good you are at drawing, only how frequent you can post, and that doesn't help your art growth. Everyone goes at their own pace of improvement, and you should explore that. I'm not saying your artist dream is impossible, but just have a more realistic view of things. You're not gonna get viral quickly, or at all sometimes, but it doesn't mean you're a bad artist. Be mindful of your worth and your art's worth. If you see you haven't posted for a month, who cares? I assure you no one does. And if they try to blabber you about it, they're not real friends or fans. People on the internet don't care and shouldn't care how long you take, how your art is improving or not, or even how it looks. It matters if you like it, cause eventually they'll see your passion and they'll also love it too. Wow, that was a hell of an emotional ride. I didn't expect this story to be so long. But if it helped anyone, I feel it's worth it. Children, be safe on the internet. Don't tell people your real name, your address, don't talk to creeps, and know your worth. Also, I found out that if I say subscribe, the button glows colors, so subscribe! 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 Hope it did work. And if it did, you have to subscribe now. Remember to follow my socials down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video and all the others coming up. I'm open to suggestions to whatever you want, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye! Jesus Christ, this is 11 minutes?